What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Sai had to bolt, so it's just me for the instant match reaction stream. Spurs have been beaten at Craven Cottage 2-1 in our fourth defeat in a row in the Premier League. No wins in 2026. We are now in March. 2 wins in 19 games. The only positive coming from today, West Ham and Nottingham Forest also losing this week, which means we don't move any closer to the relegation zone. Spurs are right in the thick of a relegation battle right now. Do not get it twisted. We are in the worst form in the whole Premier League. We are playing the worst football in the whole Premier League. And other teams, I saw West Ham yesterday lose 5-2 to Liverpool and looked a lot better than we did today. That is the reality. That is where we are at the moment. We'll get into the game. Big up to everyone in the chat at the moment. Fulham didn't have to do a lot today. They weren't great. They weren't exactly scintillating. They didn't have to do too much to beat us. But Tottenham were passive again. They were just weak, feeble, and it's just too easy to play against. And it's been that way all season. Igor Tudor hasn't had the desired impact as of yet to get Tottenham a new manager bounce or get Tottenham playing a bit more. We are playing more on the front foot, but we're just doing it with so little quality going forward, so little technical ability. You've got Dragusin and Paulinho pissing themselves whenever they get the ball. Paulinho would rather slide tackle than pass the ball. That's where he's at the moment. Dragusin, I can't count the amount of times he passed the ball out of play today. Vicario as well took one of the worst free kicks. I think the free kick in his own half was so bad, I thought he must be trying to score because it was no close to anyone in a black shirt today. Absolutely atrocious for much of the game, with pockets of pressure from Tottenham, but it was too few and far between. Game started. We started in this kind of 4-4-2 formation. Xavi stuck out wide on the left-hand side, 2 up top. Gallagher playing right wing, which, Frank played him there. Once Porro comes in back in a right back, it looked like it was a bit more of a 4 at the back, 3 at the back in possession, and 4 at the back out of possession. So kind of like a hybrid system, it looked like. And we just couldn't get going. Mwani and Solanke were not combining whatsoever. We couldn't get them to combining in the front line. Fulham were just dominating us in the middle. They were finding all sorts of pockets of space behind Bissouma and Paulinho. Paulinho couldn't pass the ball straight. Bissouma looked off the pace. He was probably better than Paulinho, but he wasn't particularly great. They were targeting Archie Gray down our left-hand side time and time again. Opening goal, I think it's a foul. I think Tottenham have been robbed in that scenario. Cross to the back post. Dragusin clearly pushed by Jimenez, 2 hands in the back. You clearly see Dragusin, how it impacts him. He's about to win the ball, and then he gets pushed by Jimenez, and it falls to Oscar Bob, who puts it back into the middle, and Harry Wilson volleys it home. Now, considering last week, Mwani gets punished for a light brush on Gabriel, and he gets penalised and our goal gets ruled out, where this one is much more of a foul on Dragusin by Raul Jimenez, and VAR took one look at it and decided to allow the goal. I think it's an absolute disgrace. Tottenham have been absolutely done. I think the consistency this season when it comes to those instances is nothing short of shambolic. Tottenham have the right to feel aggrieved when it comes to that decision, in my opinion. Romero doesn't get, Ekitike doesn't get penalised. Jimenez doesn't get penalised yet. Mwani does get penalised when his one was the weakest of the lot when it comes to contact. So I think it's an absolute disgrace. Igor Tudor and Van de Ven incensed after the goal. And that kind of just set the tone for a game. Just, set the negative tone, set the negative feeling of injustice. And not that Tottenham deserved anything from this game, but in terms of 6 minutes in to get that goal given against you, you've got to be absolutely fuming with that. And I think Spurs have a right to feel aggrieved with that goal being allowed. And Fulham took full advantage of it. Obviously, they got the lead through Wilson, and Spurs kind of had a few moments, a few block shots. Porro and Gallagher were probably our biggest threats when it came to going forward. They were combining fairly well down that side. We probably looked at our most threatening when Porro was swinging the ball in, and Solanke was getting the ball down in the box. Mawani was either fouling or getting out-muscled by Bassi and Diop. He was getting completely bullied. He wasn't having it today. Xavi Simons was a complete ghost. He was anonymous, shunted out to the left-hand side. He just didn't look on it. He wasn't looking for the ball. There was no one moving around him. And his quality as well, kept picking the wrong decision, kept giving the ball away with sloppy passes. He was having a bit of a shocker. Archie Gray was having a real tough time up against Harry Wilson and Kenny Tete. He just wasn't... he was struggling a lot, especially in that first half. They just kept looking to catch him out. They aimed for him early. Every time they got the ball, let's try and get him behind Archie Gray. That was kind of like what they were trying to do throughout the whole game. And they were getting a lot of joy from there. Sander Berge and the other midfielder, I can't remember off the top of my head who it was right now, but they were just dominating. Iwobi it was. They were just dominating in the middle. Basuma and Paulinho were chasing shadows for a lot of it. And I wouldn't say it was going to only a matter of time before it went 2-0 because it kind of came out of the blue. But the manner of the goal, Tottenham it was like they were doing the mannequin challenge. They were just standing still, watching the Fulham players move around them, look for the open space. Wilson goes short into the pocket. No one tracks him. Solanke lets Iwobi run off him, and Iwobi side foots a finish from the right-hand side of the penalty box. Look, to be fair to Iwobi, great finish, great goal. Unorthodox finish as well with his side foot instep. You don't really see goals often from that angle, your side foot to the far post from that distance. So a great finish, but the standoff nature of Tottenham was horrible, and the fact that we were just watching Fulham pop it around, and no one had the taking responsibility to put a foot in, put a challenge in, making sure Fulham don't have all the time in the world, all the space to pop it around like they were. And then we were just chasing shadows. We were chasing shadows for that goal. It was an absolute disgrace. Everyone just standing around watching as Fulham just make a few passes. And yes, it's a good goal, but you only have yourself to blame when you're allowing Fulham to just play their football, which we did. I thought the setup wasn't helping us from Igor. I thought we looked blunt, to be honest. We weren't looking creative. And then second half starts, and we looked even worse, especially for the first 20 minutes. Didn't have a shot up until the goal that we scored. Fulham should have really taken the game away from us at that point. Smith Rowe has a one-on-one, which they carved us open like a Christmas turkey. It was absolutely insane how Fulham were just able to play through us without really doing anything difficult, just making the simple runs in the centre, and Tottenham were just not tracking their runners, and Fulham were having lots of chances. Smith Rowe had two very presentable ones, one-on-one, and then he had a 3-on-2 which played in by Oscar Bob, and he put it just wide after Paulinho gave the ball away with a really bad error. He was just giving the ball away constantly throughout the whole game. It was very, very frustrating to watch. And he was giving the ball away whenever he attempted to play forward. He just gave it away. And at one point, he was resorting to just sliding all over the place like he was on an ice rink. He was just sliding. There was opportunities where he could have passed forward. He decided to slide tackle instead. So what is he doing? Is that all he knows? Just how to slide tackle? He's supposed to be a footballer, a midfielder in the Premier League. And you don't know how to take the ball under control and pass it forward. You can just slide tackle. It's been a constant problem for him. It did change a bit, the momentum of the game. When we brought Tell on, we brought Sarr on, we brought on Richarlison. That is when the momentum of the game changed. Xavi went off. Mwani, who had a stinker, he went off. Gallagher, playing at right wing, he went off. And I thought Tell had a really positive impact. He was actually running at his man, was keeping the ball, was able to shield the ball. He was bringing the fullback into play. He linked up quite well with Gray, and then Sousa when he came on. He was actually giving Tete some problems. Finally, Xavi was anonymous throughout the whole game, had an absolute stinker, had to be hauled off. And Tell came on and showed more in his cameo than Xavi did throughout the hour he was on. So fair play to Tell. The goal comes. He links up with Gray, definitely against runner play, because it was our first goal that we scored for our first shot of the half. Really good link up between Tell and Gray. Gray on the overlap, clips it to back post. Richarlison coming on and having that desired impact, heading it home, make it 2-1. All of a sudden, Tottenham have their tails up a bit. Tell immediately has another chance where he doesn't get the shot off, where he's running at his man, and he could have either put the ball in or got the shot off. And all of a sudden, it looked like Tottenham had a bit of momentum. Unfortunately, That didn't last very long. Fulham then make a triple change, and all of a sudden momentum goes back in their favour. I felt like after the Fulham changes, we did really struggle to impact, struggled to really create too many clear-cut opportunities. It looked like we had some momentum, but once Marco Silva counteracted it, made some smart changes, added some energy to the Fulham team, we then really struggled to then assert ourselves on the game. Fulham then were the ones in the ascendancy. Fulham were the ones pushing probably for the third goal. And only really right at the end, when we had some corners and free kicks where we were putting Fulham under a bit of pressure, only then did we kind of look like we might force home an equaliser, which would have been against run of play, and it wouldn't have been deserved. Paulina right at the end has a shot blocked, and at the end we didn't deserve it. We did not deserve to win. We didn't deserve a point. Fulham were the better team. Igor Tudor looked lost and angry and confused on the touchline. He seemed already before the game saying this job is a lot tougher than even I expected. So he's already making those noises in his press conferences. If you're looking at this team, you wouldn't be thinking, they're fighting for everything to get out of this relegation zone. We had an opportunity this week with West Ham losing, Forest also losing as we played today against Brighton 2-1. We had an opportunity to put a bit of daylight between us and those teams, even if we would have got a point. And we squandered it. We absolutely squandered it with another, yet again, feeble first half, which we've seen so many times this season, which Igor Tudor hasn't been able to correct. And another late rally, which was too little too late, which again has been a theme for Tottenham this season. If you didn't think, everyone has been acknowledging now, yes, we're in a relegation battle, but I still hear people talking about how, yeah, but you're not really going to go down, are you? Yeah, but, we'll be fine. We'll probably stay up. Reality is, guys, we are playing the worst football in the league. We are bottom of the form table over the last 20 games, let alone the last 10 or 5. We're getting less. We're playing worse than Wolves at the moment, who are rock bottom of the table. We are yet to win in 2026. We are now 4 losses in a row. We are now 2 wins in 19 games in the Premier League. 19. That's half a season. We've won 2 games. That's it. That's all you need to know. And as every game, another game ticks away. We have 10 games. How many games have you got now? 10 games between now and the end of the season. The gap is only 4 points. That's it. The gap is only 4 points, and we didn't take the opportunity. Everyone actually in and around us lost this week, apart from Wolves. Everyone lost. So this was a massive opportunity this week to ease the fears of the relegation fight, and we weren't capable of doing it. And we're in massive trouble. Massive trouble. I say it every week. I just hope the message has sunk in that we have a real chance of going down. Like, I'm not even saying like it's unlikely at this point that we're going to go down the way we're playing and the way things are going. I would say right now, with the form that we're showing, we're one of the favourites. I would say it's not far off from being the favourites to go down right now the way we're playing. We are in deep trouble. The only positives, I thought Porro had a better game. It was good to have him back. Definitely needed his quality on the ball. Sousa and Tell, couple of good cameos there. They did all right when they came on, made an impact. Rishi did as well. So the subs actually did all right. Nothing groundbreaking, but they just made a positive impact, got Tottenham more on the front foot, and asked Fulham a few more questions. I thought the starting lineup, the team in the starting lineup were dreadful. Everyone was dreadful. I can't think of a single good player. Maybe Van der Ven was okay. Vicario looked shaky. He spilled a cross from Bassi, which nearly fell to Jimenez. His passing again, passed the ball out of play about 3 times. Paulinho all over the place. Basuma, average. Solanke and Moani were awful. Didn't link up at all. Gallagher, what have he done to prove that he's a £35 million player at the moment? We're playing him out of position. I get that, but he was awful. He looked uncomfortable on that right hand side. The only time though is when he was linking with Porro, and Porro came to support him. One of the early times we looked all right. I think Gray probably comes up with some credit because he was playing here, there and everywhere. And I thought, well, yes, when he was at left back, he struggled, but he did get an assist. And then once he moved over to the right, he did look a lot more comfortable and started to improve a bit. So Gray, I mean, the utility man, the Swiss Army knife, he just does whatever we tell him to. And he tries. He tries to his best, but he did get targeted in that first half. And it was, yeah, it was tough. So, yeah, we're in massive, massive trouble, people. Another loss in the London derby as well. We are in big, big trouble. Hopefully, we got a midweek. This is a massive midweek now. Massive midweek. We play Crystal Palace on Thursday in what is a massive 6-pointer. Palace lost today against Man United. It's a massive game now between us and Crystal Palace on Thursday night. We have to take all 3 points. There are not too many opportunities coming forward where we can look to see games where we're probably going to be one of the favourites to win right now because we're playing awfully. So Thursday's massive. We need to take some positives into that game. Not many to take today, but we just need to find a way to get a win on Thursday and drag Palace into it because we're in big, big trouble. Big, big trouble. All right. It's a loss. That is your instant match reaction. Let me know in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on the game? What were your thoughts on today's performances? Are we staying up? Because on today's evidence, we've got a lot of work to do if we're going to be in this league next season. And no Tottenham fan, I think, ever really considered saying that. We're in deep, deep trouble. But let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts were on today's game. But now,